Micky, sometimes after games it's hard to decide what question to ask you first. I don't like talking about referees, but let's look at the start of the game. You played really well, scored a terrific goal, you 1-0 up, and then I'm afraid the referee's taken over all the action in our view.
You've got to be careful what you say, because I'm not going to get any more. You just hope that somebody upstairs looks at it and something happens, because there's a good crowd here today and they deserve better. And the players deserve better. I mean, both managers are complaining and how poor it was. Is I think something has to be done. I mean, that's as bad as I've been in football since I was 16, and I just thought this could end up in a riot here. It really could. I thought it could cause a riot. My players kept battling away and kept fighting and deserved so much more. I couldn't ask any more than them. They'd never have got nothing out of the game. I never say that because I'm too respectful of other teams, but they did get nothing out of this game. It was decided by the referee, and that's a tough one to take. And then when they score right at the end, is a real sore one for everybody. And we were so close, but we just need to keep going. That's all we can do. We just got to keep going. We'll obviously have a tough couple of days now because of how hard we've worked and where we've got to in the game, and when we lose it right at the very end, it's going to take a wee bit of time for everybody, the fans included, the players and ourselves, to get over it over the next two days or whatever. But we just need to go again. We just need to keep going. We've got another big game at the weekend, big massive game at the weekend, and if we show the qualities that we showed today, we'll be more than fine. But it was such a sore one, and it was. I mean, I know what people are saying, oh, Micky, the referee, you know, but that's as bad as I've seen. That really is as bad, and something really must be done about it, but I'm not so sure it will, and that's the sad part about it. And you work all week and your players empty the tanks the way that they do, and then it gets decided by the referee. It shouldn't be about that, it should be about players, and it wasn't today.
I mean, 2 red cards in the game isn't just that as well, is it, Micky? Because then there's the threat that they might miss other games as well.
Yeah, exactly that. And the second one, I think, is a sending off to them. It's bizarre, it's crazy. But yeah, it will now spill on to other games, so it's a rolling punishment now that we get for that. But I'm trying to be careful what I say, and I want to make sure that I represent the fans all the time, because I understand how they'll feel, and they'll obviously want me to speak about that, but I'm sorry, I have to be careful. But you deserve better than that. Your support was fantastic today, and the way the players played was terrific. They fought so hard and deserved so much more.
As I said, I mean, a terrific first goal. I mean, Kieran Morris back on the side, really lively early on, wasn't it? And that was a terrific goal and a terrific creation of the goal, and a finish for Kane Hemmings in the end. You know, you're in control at that stage.
I'm so respectful to other teams, and Paul Simpson, I like Paul. Good to see him back in football. I'm so respectful. There's no way they'd get anything out of that game. There'd been no way. We'd have cantered. We were cantering. So that's a disappointing thing, and then obviously you've got to readjust and got to find another way, and players worked very hard to do that, but as you've seen, it's still very raw, and I'm having to go into autopilot to make sure that I say the right things.
I suppose the first equaliser, perhaps a little bit disappointed with the short corner and the way they got the equaliser.
Yeah, got to do better. There's no doubt we've got to do better in that moment, because we've got the numbers back and it's a set play. We've got to defend that moment absolutely much better. We know that there's a 1v1 moment there, and we've got to do better, and then we've got enough players there to get out to the ball and do a bit better. But that would be really harsh on them. But yeah, in that moment in isolation, we do expect to do a wee bit better.
But as you say, all credit to them. You know, even down to 10 men, and they're still creating opportunities, and then a terrific finish by Elliot Nevitt as well when he ran from the halfway. Yeah,
we were determined that we were going to try and keep a threat up the pitch, so we're going to be a wee bit brave, and we did that. We defended with 7 and allowed the 2 to stay up, and it was working well, to be fair. And then obviously it was decided it was taken out of our hands, because it wasn't about football in the end, about players, was it?
And even with that last equaliser, you know, a little bit unfortunate. I know he hit the post, but the inside of the post there, and it bounces out, and just so happens they turn it in as well. So even then the look wasn't what you're going.
No, it wasn't. No, and that was what makes it even sorer. But listen, we will take the pain now, because anybody who doesn't understand or doesn't believe that we go away and we suffer as well. We really do. But we've got to show the qualities that you learn in football, and that's about coming back again. And we'll come back again, but we will need to suffer in the next few days. There's no way that you can come away from that type of game and be any other way. But we'll show the qualities that's needed, and we'll get the players back in again next week, and we'll work forward again.
You mentioned the Kieran Morris send-off, and I think I'd agree with you. Really surprised, couldn't believe the decision that was made. The Callum McDonald one, that was close to you as well. I mean, a strong challenge. That was all.
Well, I just don't know what is it. He's played the ball and nothing else. He's not done anything else. The second one's, the linesman said to me, it's a foul to you. So we said, it's a foul to you. And then that happens. So, listen, we have to go again.
But when you look at the league table, in the end, you're still in the playoffs. You're actually a point closer to third place than you were before the start of things. So it's a strange day, isn't it, all round, but it's not what you deserved in the end.
Not what we deserved in the end, no. But you take what you've got, and that's the thing about football, you've just got to go again.